Yo, what is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to a brand new locals feature match. This is a round one fresh locals. This is from September 3rd. September 3rd's locals. Round one, we've got Adventurer Sprite Frog on the left versus Tri-Brigade Sprite, aka Guy Who Tops on the right. The top 16 NAWCQ. Tri-Brigade duelist Dalen Pitkin himself, now on the Sprite Tri-Brigade variant, at least giving it a bit of a test run. And yeah, this variant of the deck is always like really interesting to me. I really like the way these two engines mesh together, especially like having access to things like Double Dragon Lords, Pit Knight early, and Revolt, which is just already an insane card as is. And yeah, I really like this deck. And also, we have the Adventurer Sprite deck on the left, so it'd be cool to see how these two very different decks kind of go up against each other. The core is the same, but you know how they interact outside of that is pretty different. So we'll see him get into normal. You know, I don't want to say normal, but like Sprite plays, but kind of, I guess. And leading with that Nimble Beaver too, which is like not only great for just getting access to Gigantic very easy, but Nimble Beaver is a beast monster. And that works really good for the Tri-Brigade scheme. So we're going to see him resolve the Farragut after linking for Bearbrum. Bearbrum effect is now, well, not Bearbrum, but Karas effect, rather, going to banish 2 to link into Double Dragon Lords, then linking off the Karas and the Bearbrum into Pit Knight early, which I believe anytime a monster that it points to activates its effects. Quick effect, you can target one monster the opponent controls, make its attack 0, and negate its effects. So, when you use Elf, they try to force the Elf in the battle phase. You have Pit Knight early, right? Just to whatever monster they might have with like very low commitment field. All of a sudden, they try to go to battle phase, get rid of the Elf very easily. Then they have to worry about Pit Knight early because you're going to chain the Elf, right? If they do go into the battle phase, you're going to chain Pit Knight early to 0 it out and negate it. That way, they can't run over the Elf and they need to commit another body. So we're going to see the Adventurer Sprite deck lead with right into Fateful. Fateful will go ahead and get the Ghost Ogre, which I like hand traps right now. I also like board breakers. Like I'm very torn as I head into Niagara, like what I want to do. If I want to like main board breakers inside some hand traps, or main hand traps inside board breakers right now. It's like very tough. Kind of a stressful decision to think about, if you will, but might just kind of stick with my guns, I feel like I oftentimes feel like that's like the best thing to do. It's very easy as you get close to an event, as we see this Pot of Prosperity resolve. Very easy to start second guessing yourself. What if this happens? Well, what if this happens? It's very easy to get caught up in that stuff. So if you can just kind of stay focused, think about what's been working for you, and most likely what's been working will probably continue to keep working. And if you're used to the way the deck has been playing, or the way you have your deck built in certain matchups, I feel like you can't really go wrong with kind of like sticking to your guns at the end of the day, instead of last minute taking a chance on a whim, right? So we will see him resolve the pot, and I believe he took a starter off of that. Now we're going to see him normal summon Swap Frog for no effect, and then we're going to see him special summon out Sprite Jet, and it looks like we're going to see Elf activate, and Elf will be chained in response to negate the Jet. So Chainlink 1 Jet, Chainlink 2 Elf, Chainlink 3 Pit Knight early. So he'll bring back the Karas. And now we're going to see him use the starter. And I'm assuming he negated that to keep him off of Smashers, because you don't want to have the Revolt forced out that early, that easily. You also don't want the Double Dragon Lords forced out as well. So we're going to see him special summon blue. He'll take 11. Blue effect will activate to go ahead and search into the Sprite monster. He's going to go ahead and add Sprite Carrot to be a possible way to contest this Revolt. But, that will force the Double Dragon Lords, because like if he leaves this Carrot on field, it's just going to constantly contest this Revolt in the back line. And if you bounce the Carrot back to his hand, it's not like he can just special summon it again. It is like, hard once per turn to special summon the Sprite monsters that way once each. We'll see him go to the battle phase now. Actually commit the battle phase. And we're going to see him bounce the Carrot with the double Dragon Lord, sending off the Karis that was on field, and double Dragon Lords will attack. Will take the attack from the token, taking 400 there since it is at 16 because of its effect. So yeah, I think that worked out very well for our Tri-Brigade player. You know, he had to go to the battle phase to try to clear that interruption. Honestly, he could have probably just like held the Carrot in hand and then go battle phase, and then try to attack over the DDL with a token. And then if he DDLs the token, then you can summon Carrot, and I think at that point you're fine because it's like a use it or lose it situation. But it looks like we're gonna see on the Summon a Gigantic in main phase 2, we're gonna see Dalen activate the Revolt. I'm gonna go ahead and special summon back 4, bring out the Shureg, Chainlink 1, Kit, Chainlink 2, Nerval, Chainlink, or well, Chainlink 2 Omen, it looks like, and then Chainlink 3 Nerval. Or it might be the other way around. Kit, Chainlink 3, Omen, Chainlink 2, Nerval, Chainlink 1. That seems to make a bit more sense. So he's obviously going to banish the Gigantic with the Omen. He'll dump Fractal and add a copy of Fractal. And then main phase 2, well, still in main phase 2. Next play going to be to go for a possible Elf play. You could go for Elf. Elf brings back Swap. Swap dumps Ronin, I guess. And then from there, I really don't know what you do. He's kind of out of gas at this point. And the opponent's field is like still uncracked. So yeah, that is going to be the end of game 1, and we will head into game 2. Tri-Brigade Sprite up 1-0. Quick shout out, guys, to Imperium Duelist. Check them out, the link below, and don't forget to use my discount code WinnerKillsTon at checkout. And if you guys are buying anything on TCG Player, please do not forget to use my affiliate link to their site down in the description of all my videos. You'll find that. So in game 2, we're going to see the Adventurer Sprite deck lead with Starter into blue. And then blue effect to go ahead and add Jet. Then I'll special summon the Jet. And then Jet effect will activate to go ahead and add another Sprite, spell, or trap. We'll take a copy of Smashers, or not Smashers, another copy of Starter, which means we can probably assume that he has these Smashers already in hand. Now he's going to go for that Gigantic. Gigantic will resolve here. No Ghost Ogre on this time. He'll summon out the Swap. Swap will dump another Swap, I believe. And then it looks like he's going to attempt to use Elf, and on the Swap, and we're going to see a DD Crow, and it looks like that's just going to be kind of a premature end to the turn there, setting 4 back row and passing. See if there's an anti-spell in the back line. That would be something else, but it looks like there is not. I see double triple tactics talents, Jet, Dark Ruler, and Super Poly in the hand for Dalen here. Not looking too hot. Yeah, too many board breakers, too many going second cards, and not nearly enough engine. He's going to set one and attempt to leave main phase, and it looks like before he leaves main, he's going to use the Elf here. Unfortunately, this is going to play really hard into Triple T. You know what I mean? Like, I guess if you really value that follow-up from blue, I guess you go for this, right? But he already has Starter, so I feel like that was kind of unnecessarily playing into triple tactics talent, and this is going to give Dalen a chance to play here. We'll see how much it matters, though. We don't know what the rest of those back are. I mean, we can still assume one's probably Smashers. I would hope that he held the Starter in hand. You don't want to, like, lose it to something, or I guess if it gets forced out by, like, a Lightning Storm, it's not that big of a deal. So we're going to see him take blue, and then that'll give him room to special summon the Jet of his own, and this could get him access to Starter. Also gives him access to Gigantic as well. The Jet will eat an Effect Veiler, though. And then on Resolution, we're going to see Artifact Sanctum from Charlie here on the left. That's going to go ahead and bring out the Artifact Scythe, everybody's favorite artifact monster. And its effect looks like it will go ahead and resolve here, locking Dalen out of the extra deck for the remainder of the turn. I was thinking if there's a way he could have changed Super Poly there, but there was nothing to Super Poly, I don't believe. End phase, he is forced to give back the blue because of Triple T. And then we're also going to see Smashers banishing the Gigantic and banishing his opponent's Jet. And looks like, well, banishing not the opponent's Jet, but the opponent's set monster, or set card rather, which is the Super Poly. And then we're going to see him activate right. That's going to go ahead and get access to Token and Fateful. And honestly, it's probably looking like a wrap right here. Doesn't really need to do too much Sprite stuff. Just because like he can put on a lot of damage here like really easily. So he's gonna go ahead and normal summon the Jet, and then activating Fateful, and then he's gonna go ahead and add Wandering Griffin Rider, discarding the Dracoback for the effect to search a monster, so that'll re-equip itself to the token, and then special summon Griffin Rider. And I think this right here is probably enough for game as is, especially if he uses the elf to bring back the swap, which is at 1,000. Swap effect will activate here. And it looks like, yeah, on that, Dalen is going to go ahead and scoop. Next card was Revolt. Don't think that was going to help out too much next turn, so yeah, it's going to be a wrap there, and we head into Game 3. Game 3 situation. Love to see a nice Game 3 scenario. 2-0s are nice sometimes, but it's nice when they kind of go the distance. So we're going to see Dalen lead with Starter here in main phase. Almost said main phase 3, but Starter is going to go ahead and get ashed. And then we're going to see him normal summon Kit, special summon Jet effect. And this is going to go ahead and allow him to search a Sprite, spell, or trap. So see if he goes for the Smashers or if he's going to go for the Starter to have as additional follow-up. Or does he want the additional interruption on the opponent's turn? Smashers in the mirror match is pretty strong, like really, really strong. But he is going to go ahead and take the extra Starter here for next turn. And since the Starter was ashed, he is not locked into 2s. So that is kind of going in his favor here. Don't really know how much that will matter, but I guess, for technical reasons, he is not locked. But if he's going to go for Gigantic, he's going to lock himself anyways, so it doesn't really matter. So we're going to see him overlay the Kit and the Jet into Gigantic. That's going to eat a Ghost Ogre. Normally really good here, but that Tri-Brigade engine is going to help kind of like dampen the blow, because that will allow him to send Nerval, and Nerval will go ahead and activate to get him a Tri-Brigade name, and that is going to be Karis, level 2, also free extender here. So really nice the fact that Gigantic getting ogred isn't like the end of the world there, because he does have that extra name, in the graveyard. And it's also like, triggering an effect, getting him a search, getting him an extra card, right? And I think this is where they had that ruling question, just to double check. They wanted to know if that, handing the card over to the judge, if the Starter gets ashed, am I locked into 2s, etc., etc.? And the answer was no. That sounds right to me. So we're going to see him probably special summon the Karis. We know we've already seen him commit the normal summon at this point. And he is going to go and special summon Karis by discarding Fractal. And the graveyard is loaded up kind of nicely. This is where having also a copy of Triple Tactics Talents would be kind of insane right here. It's like one thing I think you can't go wrong with right now in this current climate is Triple T. I think Triple T is a fantastic card going first, especially if people decide to play hand traps. Even with tier, Havness is something you always have to worry about. And going second, like Triple T is pretty much always going to find value too. Like really, really strong card all around. Especially if you're playing a deck like Sprite, or if you're playing a deck like Tier, those mirror matches, like cards like Triple T tend to like overperform in those matchups. So we're going to see him normal summon, activate Karis effect now. Banishing Fractal and Nerval, going for Farragut, linking those two off into Sprite. Elf will activate Farragut effect to go ahead and draw and put one back. Now he does have access to the Kit Engrave, which he importantly did not banish, so the Elf can revive the Kit. And then he should still have fodder in graveyard in the form of Farragut and Karis, so he'll banish those now to activate the Kit, to summon out Bearbrum, and then link off Bearbrum and Kit into Pit Knight early, establishing that interruption, and also getting access to Revolt. So not too bad for playing through Ash Ogre, if you ask me. And this is why, like, I still sometimes feel like hand traps just don't feel like the move for this reason. Eating 2 hand traps, still ending on at least 2+ interruptions, and has the Elf follow-up, like even through Ash and even through Ogre. Now, maybe the Ash could have been used on a better spot. That's a debate that, you could have, right? Maybe ashing Starter's not the move necessarily. Maybe ashing the Nerval would have been the move. Who knows? So we're going to see Charlie Lee with the Enchantress. Enchantress will go ahead and grab Right. Right is going to go ahead and activate, summoning the token. And we'll also get Fateful Adventure on board as well. So, you know, does have to worry about Pit Knight early. Does have to worry about Revolt in the back line. It's like at least 2 interruptions. And the early is going to go ahead and do a good job at protecting the elf. And it looks like we're going to see him now activate the effect of Fateful to search a monster. We'll see what he is going to discard here. Discarding a copy of Smashers. Kind of an unfortunate discard. And we're going to see him activate Wandering Griffin Rider. And we're going to see Revolt chained in response, because you kind of got to use this now, or else it will be contested by the Griffin Rider. So we're going to see him bring back 4 different names and then link those off into Shureg. So Griffin Rider will resolve, and then on a new chain, we're going to see Nerval 2, well, Kit 3, Nerval 2, Omen 1. And then the token will get banished. So now the Griffin Rider is completely, I don't want to say useless right now, but really not helping out a ton to get through this field. And he'll get the search now of the equip spell on the summon of the Griffin Rider, which the equip spell really isn't going to help too much right now. Again, he could go to the battle phase to force the elf, but right, it is going to just get hit by the Pit Knight early. And still really haven't seen him commit any Sprite cards to the board yet. So it looks like he will attempt to leave main. And he will activate Elf, and in response, he will chain Pit Knight early to 0 out the Griffin Rider and negate its effects. And he will get Jet on field, and Jet will trigger to go ahead and search another copy of Starter. So I think we know he has 2 copies of Starter in hand. Pretty sure anyways. And then we're going to see him normal summon the Jet. I mean, you're feeling like, I guess, somewhat safe right now if you are the Adventure Sprite player, because, like, he added a starter, he just searched a starter, so maybe he's bluffing that that starter is set. Like, the only thing you really kind of lose to right now would be Smashers, and Dalen has the Smashers. We're going to see him banish the starter engrave, banish the Jet on field, and banish his opponent's Jet. And, yeah, with just blue in hand and the Draco back, there's not much you can do, so we're going to see Tri-Spright take it 2-1 there. And last but not least, a huge thank you goes to our Divine Level channel members, who are Pony Stark, Cadillacs84, Justin Lamb, HEH Cyber, and Mango. Thank you guys so much as always for your extremely kind and very, very generous support of this channel.